think the craziest story I ever heard was in a waiting room in Central Asia. This woman was there with her daughter and she was very friendly, and she asked me what I did for work. And I told her I write stories for a magazine. And she stopped me and she said, "Can I tell you a story?" And I thought, oh, here we go. Everyone's got a story. But then she went on to ask if I knew much about the Taliban. And I thought, oh, this could actually be interesting. And she explained how 8 of these men came to their home and took her husband away. She said he came in and told me to shut the door, not to open it again until I heard his voice. And so she locked the door. Meanwhile, they took him to a garbage tip. She leaned in close then and said, they told him, "This is your last day. This Jesus is not God and he will not save you." And then they grabbed him and put a knife to his throat and said, "What do you want to say?" And he said, "Jesus loves you and I forgive you." And they kept demanding, "Will you accept Islam?" And he prayed for them, asking God to protect them, to offer them salvation, to bless their families. And they got really angry then. They said, "Are you a fool? We want to kill you and you're blessing our families. Go home and we will kill you soon." And 2 weeks later, 2 of these same men came back. And they brought 30 men with them. These 30 men were their army. In seeing them, the husband said, "Okay, you want to kill me? I'll come with you, but please just let me say goodbye to my family." And they said, "No. We don't want to kill you. We want to ask you something." And they explained how a week ago, 24 of these leaders were trapped in an ambush set up by the government. And they were flat on the ground, trying to avoid these bullets that were being flying from all angles. And they said, "That's when we saw you. And you said to us, 'Jump in the water and we'll be saved.' And so the 2 of us jumped in the water and we were saved. But the other 22 leaders did not jump in the water and they were killed. We want to know, how did you manage to come to us? Why weren't you shot?" And the husband said, "That was not me. That was my God who sent an angel to look like me. And he did that so that you would come here today and I could tell you that Jesus loves you and he died for you and he can offer you salvation." And one of the leaders just dropped his weapon and said, "I will never fight again." And the other one turned to the army and said, "This Christian man speaks truth. I will accept Jesus," he said to the husband. "That's my story," she says. I had to ask her, "And do you still see these men? I mean, could I speak to them?" And she said, "Oh yes, they come to our house every week. One of the men loves to call my husband, the man we came to kill but who saved our lives." Big joke now, she says. And she went on to say it reminded her of Jesus. He was a man we came to kill, but who saved our lives. "And were you frightened?" I asked her, "when they came that first time?" And she said, "For my daughters, yes. For my husband and I, no. I thanked God when they came that first time." What? You thanked God? Why? I said to her. And she said, "Because I could feel God with us." And it's always a blessing to be included in something that he's doing. Felt like we were right where we were meant to be, even if it meant losing a life. If it meant that we could show love and mercy like Jesus would, a love that costs. And that they could see Jesus for the first time maybe that way. That is very special. Hard to describe maybe. And she stopped and she looked up at me and said, "Do you know Jesus?" And I went to say yes straight away, but my mouth went dry. And eventually I was able to say, I do. But not quite like you do. And then she just smiled at me and said to me, you can. I just remember watching them leave, you know. Yeah, her story changed my life. Their bravery, yes. Their faith, absolutely. But mostly because I just wanted to know Jesus like that. A love like that.